Hi, this is Michael with Peace and Favor, where our goal is to challenge you to be the best version of yourself. Thank you for taking time to check out this video. Last episode, we discussed the 5-step plan for a happy life from birth to adulthood. It was to meet certain needs: to eat, sleep, poop, socialize, and sex. Now, we focus on how each of us are taught our role in the family, in relationships, and in the community. We did not address your specific family dynamics, financial status, level of education, or your health status. We wanted to keep things as general as possible because our focus is really on you as an individual. And this is not about where you start out in life. We don't want to go into your childhood issues and all of that. This is about your life moving forward as an adult. I don't know you. I don't know where where your roots are. I don't know what you've been through, or as they say, I don't know your story. All right, but you do, and I need you to really take time and consider and look at that story honestly to yourself. Now, each of these areas have much to do with the home you were born into. And to be blunt, the cards you were dealt. All right. And so that's something that you're going to have to deal with. Initially, you're caught in the turbulence of everyone else's lives. Or to state it another way, you've been thrown into the consequences of other people's decisions. And so as each one of us look back on our childhoods and see that most of the obstacles and challenges we face were the result of decisions made by the adults around us. And hopefully you've already have or will do the necessary work to make peace with that period in your life. And again, it's important, it's extremely important. But again, our focus is not going to be on your childhood. Is really about where you go from here. All right. As an adult, you have the opportunity to carve out your own niche. You are no longer helpless or powerless in terms of making your own decisions. You can tread your own path. You're accountable for your choices and actions. One of the things I really like is, don't judge me based on where I come from, but rather on where I am going in life. And we have no control over where we start in life, for good or bad. But as adults, we can only do our best to make wise decisions that will lead to fulfilled lives and bless those around us. Life is made up of a network of crossroads where we have to determine what we're going to do. Will we turn to the left or to the right, go forward, stop, consider. What are we going to do and why? Right? Think things through. And then whatever our decision is, there'll be consequences for those decisions. All right. And so it's something like these are like, what do you call it? Adulting. That's what you do. You make decisions and there are consequences for that. And we started learning that as teenagers. We learned them as kids, learned as teenagers, and as adults. It's like we can't just look to our parents and lay responsibility at their feet. Those days are past. All right. Our decisions and the consequences thereof are on us. Well, at this point, I'm going to introduce a process that can be utilized to navigate your path to success, happiness, and fulfillment in life. It's called RACA. RACA. Okay. And it is O/R-A-C-A. RACA. All right. And it stands for to observe/research. To observe/research the situation that you're faced with. And then first A, to assess, think about, consider its effect on you, its effect on others, its effects on your goals, and even how it will affect how you feel about you. Those are all things to be weighed out. So you're looking at a situation, you need to consider those things. Assess that. The C is choose. You need to choose the best option. All right? So when you're looking at how will that affect you, how will that affect others, how will it affect your goals or reaching your goals, how will it affect how you feel about yourself, you're going to have to prioritize which of those are most important for this specific situation. Then you get to the last A, which is act. Act on your decision. Whatever you choose, if you've chosen the best option, act on it. Don't just sit there going back and forth. All right? Act on it. Because if you don't act on it, then someone else will make a decision on what's going to happen. All right? Or you'll be answering based on what someone else has decided or what someone else has done. All right? Or an opportunity would just literally pass you by with you never having acted upon it at all. And so the process, again, RACA, when you confronted with the situation, an opportunity, observe. In other words, look at it. Do your research if that's what's necessary. Assess what you find. What does your observations tell you? What does your research show? All right? You consider, it's like, well, how will that impact me? What if I do this? How will that impact me? How will it impact other people? Does this help me get to my goal, or is it really contrary to my goal, reaching my goal? Which one is most important now anyway? Because your priorities do change depending on the situation or the opportunity. And so this ranges from everything from figuring out who you're going to date, to what jobs you'll take, what jobs you'll pursue, what activities you'll take part in, who you will have in your circle of relationships, and how close you'll be to them. It impacts whether you'll go out tonight. You know, that's a decision that needs to be made. And there's a difference between thinking about going out on a Friday or Saturday evening and going out on a Tuesday, and how that could impact you. All those types of things. Are you going to learn Spanish for whatever reason? Okay? Or another language? Do you need more education? Financial training? Are you going to volunteer in the community? Are you going to get a second job? All those things, all right, are things to be considered. But this process where you go through first, I'm going to observe, do my little research on, okay? Then I'm going to assess it. All right? Let's consider its effect on me. All right? And what I want to accomplish. Then I'm going to choose the best option to take. And I'm not just going to choose it, I'm then going to act on the decision. And depending on the outcome, I'm in a new situation now. Okay? Because you got to reap what you sow. Now that I've made that decision and I've taken action on it, now let's see what fruit it bears. And so I need to return to the beginning, where observe. Consider what I've seen. What have I learned? Assess it. How did that impact me? Now what do I need to do? All right? What decision do I need to make as a result? And then what action do I do? And throughout life, throughout a given day, week, month, year, throughout life, going through that process will help you. As long as you realize, again, there is no, even though it sounds simple, all right, it sounds very simple because there's only 4 steps. Okay? Observe, research, assess, choose, and then act. Very, very simple. But The situation and opportunities are very different. And also you are different each time, because your priorities are different, and also your mental, emotional state will probably be different. Your physical state may be different. And so that determines how you're going to change. All right, what decisions you're going to make. Sometimes we know what our wise option is in a situation, but we purposely act against our own best interests in order to appear successful or to maintain some social or professional image. All right, because our priority at the time was, I need to maintain this look. I don't want people to look down. I don't want to feel bad, whatever it is. All right, I don't want to screw this up. All right, and I don't want to draw attention to myself by acting differently or coming to a different place than someone else would. I want to look good in someone's eyes. It's not the best decision. All right, it's a choice to make, but it's a decision you make based on your priorities. All right, of course, with that, you may end up setting yourself back, or ended up sending the opposite image or message that you wanted to send. Your homework is to take a few minutes to reflect on your childhood. See if you can identify two things. The first one is, how old were you when you realized that most of the challenges that you face in life were actually a result of your parents' and guardians' decisions and actions? All right, how old were you when you realized that? And then secondly, how old were you when you realized that most of the challenges you face were the result of your own decisions and actions? Something to think about, but see if you can get those two. All right, that's the difference between childhood and being an adult. All right, but it also sets us up for where do we go from here? Well, please like the video, subscribe to my station, email me at michael@peaceandfavor.com. To share your thoughts. Also take a few minutes to visit peaceandfavor.com to support our efforts to make a positive difference. Until next time, God bless.